protect your soul. You'll be king, though nothing will drive them away. We can beat them just for one day, just for one day. And you can be me. Time, 'cause we're lovers, and that is a fact. Though nothing will keep us together, we could steal time just for one day. We can be heroes. What do you say? We could be heroes. Ooh, I will be queen, and you'll be king.
Let's go bounce.
Good morning, grasshoppers. Good morning, Dark Blade. How are you? Dragon Emperor in the house. I was kind of shocked to see that we had an appealed audio yesterday on Butterfly. So I'm going to track it down and see how it got into the playlist. But basically, I'm using a YouTube NCS playlist that seems to be pretty reasonable. 3 a.m. Good God. Happy new month indeed. Eriquito, good morning. And Eriquito probably has not yet gone to bed. I would hope. Anyway, for I didn't wake up as early as 3 a.m., but I did go to bed a little earlier. Basically, I was trying to get some things done, and in fact, I had an incredible day yesterday playing both a bit of poker, and the whole time I was playing poker, I was working on my tactics like crazy, nonstop. I want to check to see how many puzzle streaks did I do yesterday. Probably some into today. 11 runs of puzzle streak. But it was rather uneventful because if you get one wrong, you're in trouble, right? But I did get a new high score on Puzzle Rush Survivor. I got to 55. Those puzzles are so easy. I think I usually do 42 without getting an answer wrong. The first 15 or 20 are all back rank mates, or smothered mates, or tactics on the short diagonal, or mate in ones. I tell you, I can't believe that I can't get past 55 because the first 42 fly by so fast. Or a tactics program that is slightly more difficult. Puzzle Streak definitely adds the pressure. Absolutely. Well, I believe in just I believe in playing from your soul. I know this seems ridiculous, of course, but basically you will not find the openings. The openings choose you. I think that I heard someone say to a certain extent, and I do believe that. So let's just say that I struggle with certain openings, yet I do very well with them. They make me respect them. They make me take extra time. They force me to look for better moves. So 11 runs of Puzzle Streak, and then I switched over to that. So on average, I would certainly... Uh-oh. I'm only good through the third. I have to do my tournaments after today, obviously. All right, we're starting in 22 seconds. If you're not already in, I do believe that you should find your own way. Look at your stats and address what you need to address first. For example, those are the links for the daily tournament. The Rapid and Classical is only on weekends. If you're a member of any of those three, the lead chess team. So for example, I resolved to myself that I'm going to be playing moves other than e4, d4, knight f3, and knight c3. That leaves c4. Once this game is over, I'll check my stats again. But as black, it's a lot more difficult, I have to admit. You have a lot of variety. But your goals are common. And I know you may or may not have the stream on while you're playing, but on the whole, controlling the center, ensuring that all of your pieces are active without having any worse placed pieces than your opponent, concentrating on following through on your ideas, all of these things are key. Absolutely key to success. There are a few openings that almost guarantee that you're not going to have any difficult or misplaced pieces. Quite a number of openings that are going to guarantee that you don't have any difficult or misplaced pieces. Some of those openings are e4, e5, and the Carl Khan as black. I'm not a big believer in the advanced variation for black of the Caro-Kann where you play bishop f5 because you end up with badly placed pieces all over. It doesn't seem in the spirit of the opening to develop the bishop so early. After all, if white moves the same pawn twice, black should answer with c5. Where is my opponent, and is he still online? Let's just see if we can track him down. Let's do a quick survey of... Let me close that window. I seem to have opened an extra window. They played 5 blitz games. He was on an hour ago. How did he get in this tournament? Maybe he couldn't wait? When did I open the event? Possible that I opened the event before I went to sleep by accident because I was struggling in the middle of the night. See what my record against him is. Activity. One tactical puzzle, 4 blitz games. Eastern Super Blitz Arena. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy. Hey, Michael. He's only a member of the Rapid and Classical. Shouldn't it show the games with me? Oh, only one game with me. That is the current one. I'm torn as to whether or not I boot him out of the club. But I'm happy it happened to me and no one else. How about that? There is a disclaimer on the left. Of course, it's in the fine print at the end that you need to withdraw a Swiss event because if you don't show up, your opponents have to wait the entire time. And it is a little bit of a waste of time, even though I got a full point out of the deal. Most of us are here to train. Let's observe the game between Dragon Emperor and E12344. Was he born on December 3rd, 1944? The last part is his Hollywood phone number. At extension. Kingslayer Sloan, how are you? Please tell me if the music is too loud. It seems to be a little bit too loud to me. I can't seem to turn it down for myself without turning it down for you guys, but I'm going to go a couple of notches down. The YouTube music volume control is not that great. All right, moment of truth. Dragon Emperor is doing his best. Could be a ladder mate, though, unfortunately. Okay. Not going to stop it. We had to start making these precautions earlier. What is going on here anyway? So, where did Dragon Emperor get into trouble? First things first, his pieces aren't coordinated. Why didn't we trade queens there? Could we have traded queens there? I definitely believe that we could have traded queens there. And then put a rook on the 7th rank. Rook takes a3. Rook takes b7. Tough call. So right now this bishop almost has no squares. So what to do about that? Now this check looks good, but it's really not that useful. Was there a better move? This knight is terrible compared to that bishop. This almost requires an exchange. Knight takes, rook takes, and queen takes d6. Eyeing the weaknesses. So eyeballing the weaknesses. That was the beginning of the end, unfortunately. Let's get back to the game. Kingslayer Sloan. Let's give him a quick shout out. Welcome. I am FIDE trainer and U.S. National Master John MacArthur. Dress less chess. I'm going to start off cautiously. I don't know that we've ever played before dressless chess. We're having quite a number of new participants, that's for sure. Knight f3 is interesting, aka the long variation. The next move in this particular variation is moving the same piece twice. But that's not happening, so therefore, let's see what we can do. Now you're not really attacking the pawn on d5, to be honest. I don't completely understand this particular move. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with... We're gonna just pretend like this is not happening. Go after the weakness on b2. Bishop hanging out on g5. Just as well. Just getting a little bit more awkward for that knight, I think. And now b5 or bishop takes f3 first. First things first. Now we'll go for it. There's a small hitch in that this is not the same variation that we think it is. Problem. Alright, he's got a pawn storm. We're going to just now concentrate on placing our pieces on better squares. Is it time to continue the development of all of our pieces? Can't make up my mind. Yes. Okay. We're going to continue barnacling on that side of the board. We're going to barnacle some more. Am I worried about that? I mean, I do want to trade pieces, right? All right, we're back. Uh-oh, I have 8 seconds. This is not a weekend Swiss. What am I doing? I almost lost this game on time, folks. I really did almost lose this game on time. We're going to start forking. We need some activity here. Let's get it moving. No, he got me. I was enjoying that position quite a bit. Thank you. Oh, really? Is it really promoting my stuff? Uh-oh, that's not good. Because we got 108 subscribers. Because we have an actual channel. All right, it's time to just start doing some small videos. That's great to hear. Thank you, Kingslayer Sloan, in beast mode. Watching without audio. That's so funny. ASS. Watching without audio. I'm trying to keep an eye on the YouTube comments as well, as best I can. All right, now I think I've found the way to see the YouTube comments better. Oh no! What can we do to fix that, man? What the hell? And Dropbox won't help anything like that because that's still going to upload them. We're going to have to talk about this. Oh, so I shall visit a library. Oh no, don't do that. Not on my account. Can't believe I took that game so lackadaisically. That happens every Monday, by the way. All right, moves other than e4, d4, knight f3, and knight c3. Let's see what we can do. I didn't check my stats, unfortunately. I think if my opponent's not here, I should play a move like h3 and improve my stats with h3. So BM47 is playing the Don't Hurt Me variation, one of my favorites. Now, this. Usually I play bishop d3, but I've already got knight f3 in. So let's go for it, since my opponent is allowing it. You gods. Horn. BM47. Your child for trying to play without having badly placed pieces, right? My bishop on f1, right? Let's dive into some of these squares, see what we can get. It is true that I'm not really threatening anything. I am not threatening anything at all. Very sad. I needed to play knight g3, knight f5 first. That was probably the best possible way of taking advantage of that particular pawn. All right, now we might be threatening something. That doesn't defend it, does it? For lack of anything better to do, we're just going to capture. We always have queen d5, it appears. I stopped him from playing rook e8 and bishop f8 to get his pieces to the first rank. The M47, you're only a hop, skip, and a jump away from a chess 960 game. So what's the best way here to bother you? I can't make up my mind. So you did have check. Even though knight takes f7 check, e7 check. No, that wasn't a good move at first. So BM47, what is up with this new? Is this a new opening, or is this something that you've always played? Hold on here, I just need to check. The old Indian defense, 65. I know it's a little rigid. Aw. You get a good bit of reading time in. Oh, I love the smell of a library at any time of the day, but mostly on rainy days. See, this is a game that you won with the Caro-Kann, right? The Vinnick Carl's variation, is that what they call it? I mean, dude, I feel kind of disrespected, actually, that you played that opening against me. Yeah, I know, sometimes I get mosquito bites as well. That doesn't mean that I have to. I can use off. Is that wonder for the Chigorin's defense, D07? So the Caro-Kann, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Caro-Kann or the Slav. I'm not a big fan of that, but... And you drew with Dragon Emperor in the... What? And then your opponent resigns on the first move? That's not cool. I suppose I should play my game. Alright. Leading by example. Even though I like playing the Sicilian too. The Sicilian you have to play much wiser, of course. Oh, see, this is a variation where you do need to know what you're doing, and I always wanted to play this variation. I've not given it enough thought. So what is that all about? I don't think it does anything. I'm going to go into the G6 line. Okay. So are you going to exchange? Or am I going to exchange? That is the question. I guess I'm going to exchange. Try to take advantage of this situation. Notice my bishop's not on G7 yet, which is somewhat important in this whole line. Now I have to decide. I really do have to decide what's going on here. Appropriately. Can I do it this way? I don't think so. Let's see what we can do to weaken all of his squares. I do have some problems here. Let's just continue developing and pretend like nothing's happening. How about that? Alright, I'm already in trouble in time. Can I do it this way? Not a big fan of this particular variation, by the way. Yeah. I blundered, folks. I am officially dead. Dead, dead, dead. Chess. Yeah, I tried for some Gegenspiel, but the critical move was on knight takes e5. It was already bad. The problem is I have like too many ways. I shouldn't play that line. I shouldn't play that line. There are 4 ways to get a good game against the advanced variation, or against the exchange variation. I usually like g6, knight h6, and bishop f5. I should not experiment with queen c7. It's not my line. It's the line recommended by Torbjörn Ringdahl Hansen in Winning with the Caro-Kann, Magnus Carlsen's trainer. And unfortunately, we have to go with this particular variation, also known as a... I can't spot the guy 1 full minute on the clock. My opponent is giving me a bit of control in the center, that's for sure. So should we exchange and just take the backward? Or should we just retreat and take advantage of that queen being badly placed on e7? But yeah, you know, your Caro-Kann was relatively good, BM. Uh-oh. I don't know if I can get away with this, but let's try. There's so many things going on here, I don't even know where to begin. The b7 pawn is hanging. The b6 pawn is hanging. The knight on f6 is hanging. We're going to let it sit for a moment. There's no reason to necessarily do anything, especially if our opponent is going to give us a freebie. Do we exchange first? Cripple? Raj 3. Ujwal. I'm assuming your name is Raj 3. Hang in there, buddy. It's going to take time. The good moves will be coming. Uh-oh. Now that queen has no way back, right? Just in case I want to move my knight. And we're going to need a double. He does know that rooks belong on open files. That much is true. However, what was Raj's undermining? Oh yeah, he gave up the d6 square a little bit too soon. Where were we? So e6 is easily the best move in this position. Without looking at the opening book, e6 is definitely the best move in this position. But if you like e5, then you actually have to follow through with d5. And then you have to go for very quick activity, as fast as humanly possible. We can't recapture. But you get control of the d6 square this way. Something seems wrong with this picture. But it's a standard line. Just take a quick peek in the opening book, for example. In the master's database, knight to b5, d5 is the main line, cd5, bishop c5. And usually this knight comes back, so I don't have to give you space with that gain of time. Castles and g3 is the best move. Many people play e3 though, but it makes a very difficult problem for all of these pieces. They're all log jammed. But getting back to move number 3, in this position, perhaps the most solid and best move for black. The universal move is knight c6 for the 4 knights variation, and then again, e6 is just as good for black. You're controlling all the squares. And if knight on d to b5 ever happens, you just get to cover that square by playing d5. Hang in there, Raj. Hang in there. Yeah, I want to do the game videos now. My dream and role model to do great games of great players in individual smaller portions, not unlike Agate Mater. But I feel like Agate Mater's videos are too long, and my first attempt at part 1 of my memorable games was also very long. I have to check my stats. So my opponent wishes to play c6. Let's go with a transposition to the Caro-Kann. What variation of the Caro-Kann? I have no idea yet. Or are we playing an exchange French? We are playing an exchange French. Most important difference with an exchange French is because the pawn structure is symmetrical, 4 pawns to 4 pawns on each side of the board. That means that we have to go with asymmetrical development. When I capture this way, queen takes. I have to go with asymmetrical development. With the piece placement. So my knight on g1 has to go to e2. Even though I want to go to e5, I don't have much of a choice. We're going to ease our way in. Waiting for weaknesses. Waiting for Godot. How are we doing against Mr. December 3rd, 1944? Let's try. I thought he was going to play queen to e8 to free up his bishop, to be honest. I'm going to take his rook. Oh, I'm not going to take his rook, as it turns out. Whoa! Now your queen is being attacked. Dudovich. How did this all work out? Alright, he's attacking my rook. I don't like it. He's attacking my rook on c1 with mate, no less. f4? f4 doesn't do anything. What a mess we've gotten ourselves into. I sacked too many pieces. I should have played bishop takes f6 in the beginning. Did I have time for that? No, he always had rook takes e2. Bishop takes f7 check. As it turns out, where are you headed? My pieces are reaching the center just in time, Booby. So he's attacking my queen. Can I attack his queen? Knight e4, rook takes, knight takes. I cannot. I do need to keep him all tied down, though. That much is true. And now for something completely different. No, I got nothing. I've got nothing, unfortunately. Whoa! I am very lucky that he missed that one. Don't you think? He's got Queen H6 check. He's a very good tactical player. I have been winning in all of those games, but not winning enough. 3-3. Crazy. Let's take a look. First off, in my player database, C4 is getting up there. These are the moves I'm avoiding for the moment. 2,000 games with D4. E4, knight C3, knight F3, C4, A3. You can probably pick it up with A3 and F4 from now on. B3, E3, G3, B4, D3, G4, H3, C3, H4, and A4. A4 and H3 are kind of on the back burner. What would be the line to justify H3 in the opening, right? Justifying H3. That's craziness, yeah? So bishop G4 was an inaccuracy, right? I'm better after bishop G4, right? Queen to B3 straight away. Makes sense. I got a little fancy, didn't I? And queen to D5 was the right move, and my bishop is hanging, and I deserved everything that I got after that point. Yes, everything that I got after that, I deserved. Or did he have a better move, actually? Let's say I play queen to B3, queen to E7, bishop check. He can just move his king because I can't take the rook of getting mated. So he can just move his king. I have to get castled. What a perverse position this is. I'm down a pizza after this. But I have a lot of pawns. Quite insane, this variation. Quite insane. How's everyone else doing in this one? December 3rd, 44, with his Hollywood phone number beginning with 555. Mr. Hollywood is what I'm going to call him from now on. E12344. Hold on to our very best. Here I am. Wold. WOLD. Way old. Oh, that was so brutal. What were the games that I won? The games that I won, I was what? How many whites did I have in this tournament? I had a lot of whites. I had 4 whites. I lost 2 games with black, and that was the first game that I won with white. Let's look at Karpov again while we're at it. Okay. Oh no, this isn't Karpov. What am I doing? Yeah, BM 47. Let's take a quick look because I know he's here. The BM47 is black. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Basically, it looks like no matter what I play, I've won with white in this position. I've played 3 different moves in 3 different games. It's just an easier to play position for white. Those stats are very misleading. If we go to the Masters database, knight on G to E2 is the high performing move. G3 also appealed to me, but I didn't quite grok it. We're trying to follow in the footsteps of Nepomniachtchi. Let's just go back to this position for a moment and see if Nepomniachtchi makes an appearance. This is one way to do it. Even Larry Christensen. No, I don't think I've ever met him personally. Good morning, Lauren. I know he's been through New York a couple of times. It isn't bad, right? This is called the Black Lion, also known as the Old Indian. Not technically an Indian because black is sharing the center. I would put this in the category of a bizarre Philidor. F4 throws away my advantage, they say. I did consider F3. I did consider knight to G3. I couldn't make up my mind because I was worried about my D pawn. It's very tricky there. I really did enjoy myself yesterday playing poker. I relaxed for the first time in over 2 weeks. I did okay in the poker for the most part. Better as a robot. I know the technical machine-like skill that they have is ridiculous. That's right. This opening, for example, right? Like, who's this? BM47, right? He's really trying to keep himself from winning this game by keeping his pieces on protected squish spike. I'll tell you one shortcut to learning the Najdorf, and that is learning that you can play all of the Sicilians. E6s, you're going to get your E5s against Bishop E2. You're going to get your knight g4s against bishop e3. You're going to get your g6s against almost anything you want to do. So personally, the widest variety wax on, wax off opening without you having to put your knight on d7 all the time, as in the Knight Arf, is to play the Anish Giri's short and sweet course is pretty good. Uh-oh. And this was a terrible move, huh? I should just kick his knight back. They don't like me just taking material because I'm helping your bishop becoming a better bishop. Yeah, he was supposed to play queen takes f4 check, right? Or at least rook to c8. I was expecting queen takes f4 check, king to b1, and then rook takes. So for example, now h3 might be met by knight f2. BM47, are you still here? Yeah, the problem with the Knight Arf is that white has, just like I have a favorite line here against this old Indian stuff. Like I have several favorite lines actually, but I have several favorite lines against the Knight Arf that I know really well. And I never have to play them that much because I don't play it. A few indeed. No, literally when you played all of the openings, this is what I was telling the Dragon Emperor earlier. When you play a wide variety of openings, you get a good feel for a different set. So when you're not in the mood for a Sicilian, you can play the Accelerated Dragon. The Accelerated Dragon is obviously, to me, the first step in becoming a Sicilian player, because you're going to need the g6, bishop g7 motifs in a lot of positions where white's played e4 but not played d4. And you're going to need the g6, bishop g7 motifs in moments when things get a little unusual. Yeah, the Kalashnikov is a super controlling opening. From the Kalashnikov, I would definitely be mixing it up with the Accelerated Dragon. The Taimanov is actually, the Taimanov short and sweet, except for a couple of very strange lines. I feel like the Taimanov is also a very difficult opening for white. Objectively, if you must know the truth, the e6 Sicilians on the second move are the best of all of them. In this particular position, e6 for black has the best percentages of all the mainstream Sicilians. Notwithstanding a6. a6, of course, is the one that I'm dabbling with. I'm looking into the O'Kelly. I forget every now and then. I know so many openings that I forget how many that I know. I still like the hyper-accelerated. If I sniff that my opponent is going to play a Rosalind or a bishop to b5 check, I'll definitely play the g6. It has a very reasonable winning percentage. Now, if we look in the lead chess database, we're going to see a whole different set of things here for the most part. Like e6 still has the best percentage at 49%. a6 has fallen off a little bit. But g6 is performing better than the Knight Arf or the classical Sicilians. And why is that? Who's the top exponent of this particular opening? Let's go to the Masters database for a moment. Topalov, Magnus Carlsen. Duda, Kramnik, wow. Duda, Topolov, Kramnik, Morzevich, and Vasilyev even. As far as A6 goes, who are the leading exponents? Artemyev, yes, of course. He actually was experimenting with it. It's one of the keys to his bullet success. Temporary move storage. I've never noticed that before. We're always storing your variations in your browser cache for safekeeping and sharing. Please consider making a study. Oh, I see. So if we make a study, then it won't be using our hard drive for the storage. So how do I do as black in the Sicilian? I have slightly better than master level performances. Unfortunately, I'm getting waxed. Oh, that's just white. Let's try it as black. There we go. Now we're talking. So I played knight c6, d6, a6, g6. I haven't played enough g6 Sicilians. I haven't played enough e6 Sicilians to balance out that. Let me see. Is that all of them here? Let's just see. I think that's all the good Sicilians. AK-47. That is true, Lauren. I was like weighing up whether or not that was really true. If that's the reason that your win percentages are off. But your win percentages are all relative. It doesn't really matter what the numbers are. It just matters my win percentages are higher, obviously, because I'm playing slightly lower rated opponents, or often lower rated opponents. But I can tell that I'm doing better in one variation than in another variation. That's the main thing. So for example, A6 definitely, my opponents are not doing well. I've won 8 out of 10 games. Well, I've only played 3 games with E6, and the percentages are 2 in White's favor. Using the Lead Chess database here for the most part. We can increase the size of these numbers here, because we don't need the stuff on the side. So we can always check the masters. Now remember, the masters are only playing against stronger opponents too than you and I would play against. So their statistics are really skewed. Tivyakov, yes, he played G6, but as you get a sub notification. Hold on, let me look at the events. Alex, all right. The Kalashnikov, yeah. Hold on, I have to check one other thing. I don't see that your sub is up. Did you resub, Lauren? What do you mean sub notification? I'm slightly worried. I'm always worried when the sound doesn't go off for any reason. Like, I'm happy that the sound alerts are working for follows. That's weird. Thank you for the sub, but I don't see it. I don't see any notification for the sub, unless it didn't go through. Is that possible? But you obviously have a sub. Very unusual. I check the community. Let me put something interesting up to watch while I'm at it. Let's do Test TV, but not here. Oh, there you are. Refreshing did it. Nice. I just happen to love Pierce Brosnan leaping over those. So I happen to be fascinated by the Women's Olympiad. And the Mongolian team is kicking some serious tuchus. In round 3, they kicked the US's butt. Let's put this back to normal here. So yeah, I think they were on board 7 in the women yesterday. But today we're up to round 4. Yeah, the Mongolian women beat the U.S. women's team 3-1. Carissa Yip and someone else on the 4th board lost. I'm trying to recall who's on board 4. But Irina Krush only drew, and another one only drew. Anu Bayar is actually the coach of the young lady who drew Irina Krush. And it's because of the Olympiad that I wasn't able to get her for our collabs, you know? I don't know if I'm streaming in 1080p, but I'm definitely streaming slowly. Where do I check? Hariban Baskiran Pragnananda. I've come to grips with his name a little bit. Pragnanandan. Got an on in the middle beginning with an N. And a don at the end. Let's go with standings. Checking out the Olympiad here. All the teams with perfect scores. There are 20 teams with Did the U.S. team win yesterday? Oh, Norway lost, right? Norway fell out. I was notified moving to Ghana or someplace, you know? For example, Hong Kong versus Trinidad. I was looking at the Hong Kong versus Trinidad match yesterday. Hong Kong narrowly won 2.5, 1.5, but it was like, when you get down below on some of these teams. And I think Jersey, hold on here. Let's look at the pairings for a moment. Lula Robs is playing for Jersey, right? Tanya Sachdev is on board 4 today. Now, the Mongolian women have 2 sisters who have the same last name, I believe. Oh, these 2. So, I do not recognize this name on board 1. Irina Krush is taking today off against Australia. Now, Pia Kramling has a photo. Very womanly beard, Rogina. Oh, you guys are so funny. The Pan-Pacific brother and sisterhood. I'm looking for Jersey, where Lula Robs is playing. Montenegro? I mean, in country. I just happen to like the idea of Montenegro. North Macedonia as opposed to South Macedonia. Don't tell me there's another break in the future. Croatia. I'm still looking for Jersey, where Lula Robs is playing, right? And Fiona Stiel and Tony is playing on the men's team. So she is in the open section. Jamaica. I really should get a summer job training the Trinidadian team. Here we go. Wait a minute. I was pretty sure that Lula Robs was on the Jersey team. So is she playing today? I just wasn't thinking. Oh no, don't tell me I have to go all the way down again. Oh. She's not playing this round. We're going to go to round 3. PALL. 2-2 versus Sudan. Let's check round 2. This is a much faster way of finding the results. She lost in round 2 and round 3, so she's taking round 4 off. And she lost in round 1 to Bolivia. Ouch. Lula Robs is having a trial by fire. Let's take a quick peek. Good morning, DG Road. I'll wave to you out there. Heading to JFK. I'm jealous. Where are you headed? PSP. Salt Lake City, SLC PSP. Gladys stole the pieces. I have not flown into Palm Springs, otherwise I would know the airport code, that's for sure. Right? Peng used to be one of my favorite super uber aggressive players. Let's check out Australia. Since they come alphabetically. Nope, Fausto. So we're going to look at round one real quick. Wow, what a 4-0 victory. You don't like how they play, huh? Can we look at the games this way? Oh, we can only see the data. We do know how they might be playing. Let's take a quick peek at the women. Australia versus United States. Here we go. $22.84 to $23.29. Irina Crush is taking this round off. That moves Carissa Yip up to board 2. Not sure if I like these pieces. Is there a way to change the piece set? Yuck. Heather Richards sounds familiar. Do I know Heather Richards? Oh, the women's team. Okay, got it. The DG Road, I'm jealous. Any chess players? Just poker players in Palm Springs? Or neither? So the hard part when you're going over these round 4 games is that you have to know the names of the players. Like you could probably guess what teams they're playing for, right? Yeah, I'm going to drag this down even though it covers the... Can I do that? Will it help? No, it still doesn't help. How about and the thing that goes across the top? But it doesn't quite work. Then WC, no biggie. It's quite the leap from 2000, Roken. This is crazy, to be honest. I'm going to fix the board the way it was, just so I don't have to worry about it for next time. Yeah, so the women's broadcast to the men. All right, let's check out the men. So I should have looked to see who the strongest men were on the Olympiad team. Can I increase the size of this to do it a different way? Well, I'm really not fitting it in here at all. Short of redesigning my layout. I'm going to keep going. I like how the names are big. That's not going to do. That's not going to do. Sorry, everybody. Put it back to normal. As normal as we can get it. If a YouTube comment flies by, please let me know, just in case. I hate it when a YouTube comment flies by and I didn't get a chance to address it. Okay, so here we go. Now we're in business. So once I click on a game, I have all the names up here to the left. This is good. Much better. So the men... Who's the top board for Australia, Lauren? I know Ian Rogers isn't playing anymore. Smirnov, got it. Thank you. So they must be on boards 41. Magnus Carlsen is on page 2 as well. Oh no, Norway's playing Mongolia. Hold on, we need to message Anu. All we can do is wish her good luck. It's such a different world playing against the world champion in an event like this where you're playing for your country, right? Anton Smirnov. He is the world champion. What are you talking about? He hasn't given it up yet. In fact, if they hold off until 2023 November, he'll have been world champion for 10 years. Until he's... Not a big fan of how my internet connection is misbehaving, though. I wonder what I can close to help that out. Let me just got Magnus Carlsen versus let's flip the engine on. And we will increase the size so that everybody can see what's going on here. Yeah, Magnus, unfortunately, is doing pretty well. Yeah, until he gets replaced, he's still the world champion. It's sort of like Alekhine dying. Definitely he wasn't necessarily the world champion, but nobody, for example. I don't know why anybody plays the Queen's Gambit declined, honestly. To me, it's like asking for it. So already Magnus is up a piece, and we didn't even do anything. Look at that. Did you see that? We go here from a slightly better position. And within the space of about 5 moves, when Magnus gets his e4 break-in, we go from getting the e4 break-in to being a full piece ahead in this position. We're just a full piece. And it's basically the quality of these pieces being worth far less that is dragging down the entire position for black. So BM47, if you're in the house, remember my comments on your opening before on not being active enough. Right? So as it turns out, you're entering e4 with e5, Lauren. Nice. Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would play the same opening, especially in online chess, honestly. Online chess to me is fun and expressive, and it's an opportunity to find out what's going on here. I'm just going to check my task manager to see what's eating up my internet performance. Chess24 Live. Do I have Chess24 Live up? Discord? Google Chrome is eating up 40% of my CPU. Now, I've always known that Google Chrome is one of the main reasons, and I wanted to switch, and I have switched to the Blaze browser. But there's just so many hurdles in using the Blaze browser, password-wise, and all of that. I have Steam running in the background. None of it is using up my CPU as much as Streamlabs and Google Chrome. They're using up 50% of my CPU. Closing anything else doesn't seem to really matter. But meanwhile, back at the ranch. Magnus is just trying to decide how to close out his opponent here. Bishop 8-7 check. Notice how the statistics were skewed before Bishop 8-7 because of the possibility of King H8 and Knight F7 mate. So once Bishop 8-7 is played, King F8 is 2.7 plus. So it must be averaging the strengths across of the possibilities, which is not really fair because there's a lot of moves that can screw up. Believe it or not, therein lies the tale. I've got 6 Google accounts. And because I have 6 Google accounts, so Discord is opened in Chrome. If I close Discord, YouTube is opened in Chrome. Aha! I'm going to kill the music for a moment. I don't really want to kill the music, though. always liked Savannah.
The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand.
Where is my music? Kill them all, let none survive.
Let's go back to when we were
There it is. Did I accidentally shrink it? Kind of like this one too. Broken hearts and empty dreams.
empty hearts and neon light.
Yeah, that was close.
Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly.
So, yeah, I'm going to close the
Fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh.
hold on, I have a post-it note up here. Then I'll check my taskbar again. Because I'm sure that it's the YouTube music. If I could open up YouTube music and it's still taking up 41%. Let's close that window. That window. I'm not sure what Streamlabs desktop is its own. Close the down to 37%. Ah, the Twitch Streamlabs Manager. The Twitch Streamlabs Manager, which helped me with a lot of stuff, was taking up 5%. It's fascinating. Do I really need the Twitch Streamlabs Manager? It helped me see the rewards. Needless to say, Lauren JW, thank you for this resub. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Let's just check out the Australian team one more time. So now I open Spotify music and it takes up 4% of the CPU. Maybe not. Let's check it out. Let's see what we can do for NCS. The great thing about Spotify is that I can actually adjust the volume better. So Spotify takes up far less system resources. Got it. All right, we're looking for Anton Smirnov. What color is he playing today, Lauren? Do we know? I need someone to do the legwork. That's Brazil. Sweden has fallen. I have to keep streaming. Let me end the stream real quick. Or you could do what I do and go to tier 3. That racks up the points 3 times faster. But I hope to provide the content worthy of a tier 3 at some point. He's not on board 40. What board is he on? That'll make it easier. This is Ireland. Team pairings, round 4. I have stuff to burn. Aw. I don't blame you. I'm trying to think if I recently added a second worthy tier 3. Only because my first worthy tier 3 sort of let me down when they didn't go to India to play in the Olympiad team. I was a little bummed about that. But obviously there was too much stuff going on. Moving to Los Angeles, changing countries. Could be very tricky. There they are. Word 21 times 4. That is 80. Word number 84. Let's just take a quick peek at the players real quick that I'm looking for, so I'll know all 4 of them. Word 21. Oh, Ecuador. I like it. So if we just click on a board, and knowing that we're starting on board number 40, we should just go to board number 41. Justin Tan. Smirnov. How hard was that, right? Am I good or what? We found him. Anton Smirnov. Let's see it from the top. Yeah, Anton is playing one of my favorite systems, although I prefer the bishop g4 line for aggression purposes. Basically, if knight e5, then bishop h5. And we're basically going to challenge that knight in this manner with c6 to batten down this bishop. So needless to say, that wasn't played. He plays knight to d7, which invites d4. Now you have 2 choices here. You can play d4 or you can attack the unprotected pawn. So white chose to attack the unprotected pawn. Yep. Jeff. Yes. I sort of got the idea for the VIP from Velcro Dot. Even though I'm not sure what's going to happen when I run low on VIPs. I think I have to un-VIP some of the older ones who didn't earn it. What's going on here? Well, Smirnov is definitely better in this position. Black is definitely better. But how to go about taking advantage of this position? How much better is the question. I did raid Zalakai, and I gave you credit. I told him something along the lines of, not the exact words, but that Rogan took the reins on guiding the raid. Well, she had some very creative rewards. You know, you have to look around to see what other people's rewards are. For example, Boring Pharmacist has some extremely interesting. Yeah, Chris is a cool guy. Boring Pharmacist has some extremely interesting ones. I really needed to shave this morning. I'm not going to get this, am I? Reload. I'm not going to get this engine. All right. So now, so they believe that white is slightly better here after knight f3. But really, I wonder what that rationing is. Is it the poorly placed knight on d7? The uncoordinated pieces? I'm not sure that white really has a safer king than black. Queen f2, knight g4, queen f3, bishop takes c4, b takes c4. I don't know, all of this seems pretty equal to me. I think we're skirting the edge of black being better. So board 2. I'm assuming that the Russian sounding name is the Australian player? No. Yes? Who are we playing here? Carlos Matamoros. So he should be white on board 2. Black on board 3. Bobby Cheng sounds familiar. And white on board 4. Justin Tan. Let's see Justin Tan. So Justin Tan had friended me on Facebook, and I didn't really know him, but he kept posting and posting and posting. So here we go. What is going on here on this? Is knight f3 the new way of handling this Karo Khan advanced variation? Personally, I think that black is just equal after all this. Isn't that strange that every assessment up here after knight to c6 is equal, including knight takes c6, but after it's played, every assessment is slightly better for white. Then it's back down to 0-0. This goes to show you that 0.01 doesn't mean anything. Well, unfortunately, the United States isn't much better, Rogan, since we've imported or re-imported Fabiano, Aronian, and our women's team, except for Irina Krush being born here in the United States, and Carissa Yip. So the other two, I do not know anything about them. Yeah, Justin Tan is strong. How would I handle this variation? I wouldn't play G6. I think that's asking for it. You merely have to get your pieces out as fast as humanly possible. Fedosiev on the black side of this would play knight e7, right? Demchenko, knight to d2 is very natural. And a5 is perfectly reasonable. Pawn structure is dictating play on the queen side for black. So therefore, that is the most logical conclusion. Perfectly reasonable play by black here. This is Demchenko versus Fedosiev as the example role model game. But if you want to win with black, you can't play the Caro-Kann. If you are in a must-win situation, white. Irina Krush does have some great lectures. She's currently working with my formerly strongest student. Yeah, the G6 weakness. What were we thinking? And now we're going to pay the ultimate price as black. Going to Bobby Cheng. It looks like they're in very good shape. They're just overwhelming their opponents. Oh, there's a drawback. It won't be there when we get there. Can't afford to drop a piece. Yeah, Irina Krush, the local tournament director, would always put 2 exclamation marks behind her name and put her last name in all caps. Krush, exclam, exclam. He commented on it in the Perpetual Chess podcast that Steve Emmett would do that for her since she was very young. She always had her last name in all caps and crushing it. So Timur, let's see his opening choice here. I don't blame him in a team event for being conservative. They may not be conservative all the time, but you might be right, Lauren. So Yeatenheimers. Yeah, white on board 2 indeed. Eric Hansen is on board 1. Amon Hamilton, or Amon, Eric Hansen, Amon Hamilton? Am I pronouncing that right? Well, right now, my collaborators are in India, so it's making it a little difficult. I appreciate you being honest about me trying to find grander streamers. Aryan Tari is very strong. He's a good kid. He is a very good kid. Let's check out the official website again. Teams. And I'm looking for New Zealand. So, not quite as strong, huh? Wow, if I picked up the pace, I could be on the New Zealand men's team. But I'm at my floor practically about 2,000, or just below 2,000. We have a John Stark, former New York Knicks. Or no, did they play against John Stark? I'm gonna have to look into John Stark to see how good he really is. Oh, I'm afraid the audio problem is permanent there, Rogan. Unfortunately, the audio problem is permanent. I believe the audio problem is that the mute button did not work on my phone. So I'm gonna transfer everything to a better camera, which I have around here. I'm gonna master the Hero 7, wherever it is, on one of the shelves near me. I may have put it back in the drawer. But at least with the Hero 7, I will have proper stability control. Like Jordan if we play against. Exactly. Eric Keto knows who I'm talking about. I actually saw John Starks at a trying to remember who was playing, whether it was the Jets or the Giants. I think it was the New York Giants game. Really? Let's go to Canada. Or were you not thinking Canada? Eric Hansen, Raja Panjwani. I forgot that he's there. I have met him. I think he's the only player on the current Canadian team that I've ever really met. And I have his book on the hyper accelerated dragon. He wrote a book on the hyper accelerated dragon. Well, oh, I can actually click around. That's cool. It let me click around, and then it lets me view the games over here. Got it. So this will be much easier to navigate once we get there from here. So I accidentally clicked on Liberia, and it took me to Liberia. Ireland, I assume. Oh no, that's Iran. Silly me. Magsudlu, 3.5 out of 4. The second GM, the third GM is 3 out of 3. So he drew with Eric Hansen. Let's go with the women teams. I just want to see who's the Canadian rep. Since Chiu bowed out. What do we do to train the women to be stronger in Canada? My God. That's craziness. Copy URL. Wonder if that's the right URL to copy. Hold on. I'm messaging my 2 Canadian students real quick.
like I have been your enemy. You are something I don't want to have. A million problems inside of my head. This is something I don't want to have.
A good montage. Eye of the Tiger. Bacon and poutine. What country are you thinking about, Yeatonheimers? Hong Kong? You could definitely get out on Hong Kong. I definitely looked at their lineup. All right, that's enough of that. The list of the women's teams. Open live games. And of course they have a special one for the if I click on PGN, what do I get? Do I get a download? Nothing happening. So on the top four, it's Kushikara, Anna Yushinina. Anna Musicchuk has not been streaming that much. I feel like Carissa Yip has been concentrating more on school than on her playing for the most part. But she's doing well here. This game not being broadcast? Is that the story? Or it's just not loading? Sateva Brahman, bringing it home. Carissa Yip, bringing it home. And this is extremely excruciatingly complicated. And it's a Tonsky. Oh. Not a fan of that particular song. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Yeah, I was looking at Hong Kong. Hong Kong played Trinidad and Tobago, which is where my wife is right now. I could be on the Trinidadian team. And we could have been playing each other, Jeff, on the Trinidad versus... that's the only realistic one that I have a shot at. Malaysia? Where's Z Bean from? Two 2005. Not a bad team. Not a bad team. These are all the women's teams, right? Greece, Algeria, Peru, Costa Rica. Checking out the Olympiad boards. Scotland, 1936 on board 1. This seems out of order here. 1729 as white. And at 1843 is black. Maybe they're allowed to make switches within certain numbers of rating points. Here are the women for New Zealand, as pointed out by Rogan. '1800s and 2000s. Yes, Rogan should be able to make it. Monica Mocklick, that is my student, Maud Rodsmullen on board 4. My former student. Her brother was also a Norwegian champion. They were in New York for a period of time, and I got a chance to work with them, and they're the people that they were the family that we would usually stay with in Norway. Just got to survive our beer, and you're an honorary member. I would love that. I needed to get the daughters out of college and taken care of, right? How about Vietnam? Even though both Zebin and I Am Hungry have a long ways to go, does Vietnam have a women's team? Doesn't bode well if I haven't seen it yet. I just realized that I haven't seen it. Who else is there among our streamers? Here we go. Yeah, my daughters could play for the women. Ali, Amy Ali, 1300. Wow, we have to get moving. There's no Vietnam women's team. Is that the story? Unless they go by a different name. Oh, they're there. That's pretty respectable. Oh, I take it back. I met them. What am I thinking? They came to the World Open. They had Min Lee, newly minted Grandmaster Min Lee, as their coach here in New York City. I think they came to New York to have it. Is there a women's team for Hong Kong? Let's check it out. There should be. Every team should be able to field. While the women's team is lacking a passport too. Not sure how we get to be a women's candidate master at 1300. Might have won a youth championship. FIDE ID. Oh, and if you click on the FIDE ID, you get to see she was born in 2008, so she's very young. Let's copy this link. Seeing the Vietnamese is the hard bit. That doesn't sound good. So those are the teams. You can click on their FIDE ID number. When you click on their name, you click on their FIDE ID number, it takes you straight to their profile, so you can check out anyone. And I'm going to do this one as well. I'll copy the link for the men's teams and share it with everyone. So the women's live games don't go down that far. That's why I couldn't find them here. As far as the board numbers go. So Z-Bean, who else is there? What about the other young lady? Alicia Zhao, I think she might be in Canada as well, right? Alyssa. That's so funny. I can't find them. Yeah, exactly. How to get here? Visa information. E-business visa or business visa at the embassy. Insurance details at the registration portal. Arrival details once booked. Ticket before the 20th of July. We might have missed that deadline. The United States is usually available for e-visas, but I don't see it. Yeah, the United States is not eligible for an e-visa. I already got my daughter a visa to go to India many years ago, and that was not easy. But that was more or less a tourist visa. In case of any visa rejection, yada, yada, yada. Where are we? We are in round 4 on the 1st of August, 2nd of August, and the Bermuda party is really where we want to get there for. They're going to have a Bermuda party at 3 o'clock before, the Bermuda party's at 10. So we need to arrive in India, everybody. Yeah, I know, right? It is very difficult. Whole day is a free day on the 9th, so the Bermuda party, everybody has a chance to sleep it off or find their way back to their own hotel room. The closing ceremony and everything are on the 9th of August. Check your calendars. Quite a long trek for a 4 or 5 day visit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Parts your day. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty rushed if you were to actually consider going there. The opening ceremony was really grand. I enjoyed watching the video on YouTube. What is going on with this? I guess that was them all loading for the most part. The US team, Alejandro Ramirez, Anna Zatonsky, Brissa Yip, Tateva Brahman, Irina Krush. So this is the one that I don't really know that well. And she was playing in the World Open, I believe. The men's team, Sam Shanklin, Mr. Happy, Wesley So, Levon Aronian. Who's the fellow in the middle? Thank you for following. Catamaran 468. Did we not get our sound effect? And why didn't we get our sound effect? Where are you from, Catamaran 468? We're just doing a quick reviewing of the... This is Vidit from India. I don't recognize this fellow off the top of my head. Oh, Lanier Dominguez. Speaking of importing, right? So we've got Wesley So from Canada, Levon Aronian, and Lanier Dominguez from Cuba. And on board 4, we have the actual original American. Over here, it looks like it's the, I don't recognize Magnus Carlsen there. He's not there. You have Arjen Tari on board 1, John Ludwig Hammer on board 2, Johann Sebastian Christensen on board 4, and Frode Urkedal on board 5. So that's the Norwegian foursome that I know personally. Krishnan Shashikara. I'm glad they're all below. Alexei Shirov, Francisco Vallejo Pons. I guess he's not giving credit to all of them. Ralph Mamedov. Yeah, this is that same round. Arjen Tari. Pretty cool to see Arjen Tari when I knew him as a 2000-2100 rated player. And I was playing in the same tournament with Johann Sebastian Christensen, Frode Oakdal. All 4 of these were playing in the tournament in the early 2011 when I played in it. 2010, 2011, 2012. I'm trying to remember. So he was 2100. He's the same rating as he is today. Johann Sebastian Christensen was probably about 1900 or 2000, and Frode Oakdal was like a 2300 player. And he's on board 4. Is that RB Ramesh? That's the coach. Ukesh on board. My friend Malcolm Payne, who runs the chess and bridge, the London Chess and Bridge Center. He's also a very powerful, influential organizer. I think he organizes the, I'm fairly certain that his primary concern these days is the London Chess Classic. Volokitin Shevchenko. A lot of these players I don't know that well. I'm glad that he is catching all of them. Leonard Utz. Benjamin Bach. Is that really Benjamin Bach? I guess it is. He looks so different without hair, right? Usually has a lot more hair. Maybe he's getting ready for the climate change. I don't know a lot of those members of the Desiree Rondon Chacon. Does it say what team that they're playing for? Is France? It seems like it could be France, but maybe it's a mix of teams. Who is that? Ola Mahmoud. Luke McShane, David Howell. I don't remember who's down there on board 4. Luke McShane, David Howell. Luke McShane. Crazy that he's playing. As he's only a part-time chess player. Adibon Batkara. Jordan Van Forest. Yeah, I think if I were called upon to play for my country, I would never consider scheduling anything up against it. As it turns out. A lot of shots of the women that I have no idea who they are. San Diego. America Tharson. Here we go. I'm getting closer to the men to a certain extent. Oh, that's Anna Kramling. He really had to dig deep to get that photo, don't you think? Shirt louder than mine. Kyrgyzstan. Nice. Are you following Alexandra Semikonova? Hold on. Let's go to that one. Official website. Women's teams. Find out what board they're on. Hold on. I wanted the pairings. Man, is Alexander Samaganova not for Kyrgyzstan? I guess not. What country is she? I apologize profusely for getting it wrong. Yeah. No, both Kremlings are playing. Mom is on board 1. Pia Kramling is on board 1. And they had the photos that I had seen in the 80s that sort of allowed me to have a chess crush on her. When Pia Kramling was the #1 woman in the world, ahead of the Russians. Dominguez Perez, thank you. Lanier Dominguez Perez, Eatonheimers. I don't have my other, I closed my Twitch stream board manager, which is usually behind it, so I have to look over here for the chat. Now I have it behind my window again, so I can see it all on one screen. We should change the stream title briefly. Olympiad. There we go. I think it still shows us on leechess.org, given that we're using their browser to look at everything. Oh, is that the men's team? There she is. They're playing. How is she doing? I know she already has a trainer, but she needs a coach. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. She drew with the 2297. Beat the unrated and the 1600. Good for her. So far, so good. And this is the current game. Oh, open up a new window. AYR on board number 37. See how she's doing. Board number 37 times 4. That's 120 plus 28. 120 plus 28 would be... I thought it just take forever to see stuff. So that's 148. The board number 148, and we're starting at board 129. So we need to go to board number 40. Rebecca Selkirk from Australia, she won. Somebody correct my math. I gotta be quicker with chat. Yeah, indeed. No, earlier, when I'm missing it, let's just say you're all on this screen here. And normally when I have the Twitch stream chat over here, then I can see the chat better, as well as the reward request queue, which is right below it. But when I closed all of my windows, it left me with chat only on this screen, so I had to look over here for everything, which was not good. I was pretty sure that Nemo had issued a video or a YouTube statement on why she didn't make it to Canada. And obviously she didn't make it to Canada. But I couldn't track it down afterwards. Maybe the comments were just too great. 129, 256. Yeah, it still brings up the generic link the wrong way. But let's try to do it the other way. Let's go back in time. Can I go back in time without this? No, huh? All right, official website. The 18th board and 129 to 256. Thank you. Oh yeah, because I did the math wrong. You're absolutely right. I did the math wrong. I went too far. You're still playing. Who's in trouble? Yes, Alexander Semiganova was the other streamer I was trying to remember. That should be or could be in besides the normal and usual suspect. Tough to give up that bishop pair, especially if you're going to be reinforcing this pawn. Why is our king not castled? She really loves playing the English. Her openings are clipping her wings as well. As an 1800 player, you can't be playing the English. I wish I could tell her that, but she likes the feeling of control, and the English is a very addictive opening. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just that you have to clobber the lower-rated opponents. Now you have to go forward with your pieces. This is another one that we talked about when we were reviewing Nemo's games, remember? And I also saw Anna Kramling talking about one of her games, that the women, or in general the weaker players, not necessarily the women, all weaker players, when faced with an opponent in any nervous situation, they tend to retreat rather than moving forward. While knight e5 is the best move here, moving backwards is unfortunately... So here we just have to play knight c4, right? Not a4 first, but knight c4. She played a4. Now I'm afraid that her opponent had a chance to take over the initiative. Massively take over the initiative with f4. And if knight takes e4, then queen to b4 check. So she's managed to recover very nicely. But again, why are our pieces on the first rank? And g3 is asking for it a little bit to me. But the computer likes it. Why are we not? It's like a reverse Sicilian, the reason why we're not castled, right? Wow, she's really trying to checkmate her opponent with the white pieces. This is where it helps to have a good team. When the rest of the team is able to do their job and control the situation. And, you know, maybe pick up the half points. Like if every board draws and one board wins, the team wins. Everyone does not have to win. So she chose knight f1 again rather than bishop takes g6. She's in pure defensive mode at this moment. Playing please don't hurt me chess. This is not going to work. You need to stop sucking. I hear you, man. Yeah, now queen to d1 or bishop to d1 needs to be played. Queen e2 loses a piece, right? To f3? Maybe not. It looks like it, though. Queen e2, f3, bishop takes g6, e takes f2, bishop takes f5, e takes f1. Check. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Oh, Alexandra. So on board 2 with black. This is for got him around 498. You're either born to suck, you're not born. More ads than Spotify. Yeah, black is roughing it here. No wonder she feels obligated to win. But I think black can draw this game. Then we have Astrid Barbier. The board won. Maud Rodsmoen won. How much you want to bet it? It's an E6 Sicilian. He is a huge fan of the Taimanov. Not my influence. Like I said, the openings choose you. This is not good. You cannot do that.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing?
A takes b5. Knight takes b5, bishop to b4 check. And everything's covered. Wow, and she won this game with the 3 minor pieces for the queen. Nicely done. Great game, Maud. Very Magnus Carlsen-esque. And now all the pieces are coordinated. Oh man, White is just getting run over. What a beautiful game. She's making a fan of the Taimanov for me. Oh, pick off another pawn while you're at it. Like, what is this queen doing here on this square? White decided to hang it up. And White hasn't even gotten close to being checkmated yet. Uzbekistan might hold the U.S. men's team, right? The Upside Down. Is this a Stranger Things reference? All right, let's see what's happening here. Sam Shankland is in a spot of trouble. Indeed. Turn off my warmer before I forget. Shock and awe. Well, it's not the same, right? You got Levon Aronian, who is playing in his first mercenary-like role to the United States. Wesley So, who I think is Wesley So and Sam Shankland are relatively stable. Then you have Fabiano Caruana and Lenier Dominguez, who are... Yeah, so this game is not easily winnable. I love how the assessment of all of Fabiano's play is so boring. The Levon Aronian on board 2 already drew. Wesley So won. So Fabiano has to win to make up for Sam Shankland's loss if they want to win the match. You're right, Eatonheimers. Good call. Good catch. D5 check. real secret is knowing that you do not know anything. So I have the candidate moves, rook e6, b5 check, and f5 guarding. I like f5. The f5 loses the pawn on f5 though, so it's not worth it. Rook takes f5 is in short order coming. So f5 doesn't. That leaves only two candidate moves then, rook to e6 and b5 check. And of course the computer suggesting both of those, not necessarily in that order. Could the 2500 get intimidated enough to only draw this game? That's the question. France might hold India team 1 to a draw. Nicely done. It's true. Lagarde. Wait a minute now. Lagarde? Is that Maxime Lagarde? Or is that Lagrave? India team 1, spamming teams. Well, no, the host country traditionally has always been allowed to put in more teams as needed. Yes, Fabi is having trouble. Bobby is flailing. We can't play rook e7 because of rook d1 and queen e5 check, probably. Or is that really the case? It's not white's move. Silly me. Rook e2 is the move that appeals to me the most of the candidate moves. Rook e6, h4, and rook e5. Are the four candidate moves. Uh-oh, I didn't see Kingslayer Sloan's hero request for 1d4, so I'm going to refund that one. I think we're going to do, Eriquito had asked for a study of Kramnik. I think we're going to do his chess.com rapid games. I don't know if he played more than one. Carlson won, yes. That is very cool. Now, I didn't need to take my daughter to work at 9 o'clock. I just realized that it's 10 to 9. She has not yet bothered me, which means she's running late. Let's take a quick peek here as we transfer you over to Anna Maya's doing Anna Cramling's commentary. Opera-spiel is not in English, it's in Norwegian. Norway versus Mongolia and Uruguay. I'm not sure who these are that are streaming at the moment on the Belankaya's channel. My applicants. Have we done Sammy Reshevsky? I would love to do Sammy Reshevsky at some point. Sammy Reshevsky was not well liked, though. But meanwhile, yeah, I have 8 minutes to collect myself, get my shoes on, or I can wear my sandals. Either way, we should be good to go. I want to thank everyone as we wrap this thing up for the most part. I especially want to thank Kingslayer Sloan for the raid and for the moderation. Yeatenheimers for the helpful input on everything. Eric Keto from representing the West Coast. The new followers, Alex RNK47 and Wonder D7. Lauren for the resub. I thought we had a new follow that didn't get listed, though. Didn't we have another new follow that didn't get listed? Where are you? Or was he just a first-time chatter? Maybe he was just a first-time chatter. Yes, Kingslayer Sloan, Alex RNK47, Wonder D7, D07, and the raid. Cheers, everybody, and thank you. Have a great afternoon. Ciao.